Hi guys, and welcome to the latest video. This is going to be a video to keep you guys updated with how we are going with building our general store, our second store. So we're building it pretty much from scratch again. We've been getting some really nice results and some really cool sales that we can share with you. None of which, thankfully, are going to be anything to do with radio control. So hopefully these are all items that you're going to be able to find from charity shops, car boots, auctions, because we've pretty much found everything that we're about to show you from charity shops and car boots. So I'm going to just get straight into it and just go to the relevant screen. First item we want to share with you. This is absolutely a great brand to look out for. A lot of you will already know about it. It's called SnapOn. They make socket wrench sets for mechanics and things, and they also have a range of clothing available. So these are like workwear pants. So you've got the Snap-on branding, but as you can see, these trousers have got some real condition issues, some really dubious looking stains on the rear and on the front side, which I did disclose as marks, which were stubborn and wouldn't come out, like stubborn marks. Be careful when you're using words like stains, because if you actually read eBay's terms of service, I'm pretty certain in there they don't want you selling stained clothing. The clothing shouldn't be like stained; it should be clean. So marks is probably better. I mean, in this case, I did wash these, and these were just like stubborn paint marks or whatever, and they didn't come out. But anyway, we took an offer of £20. We've only paid £1.50, so these sold for £20 plus shipping, not the actual asking of £29.99. Moving on. Next item I wish to share with you guys. This is a really cool find. I wish it was in better condition. This actually sold to George Ross, who is a fellow UK reselling YouTuber. He actually bought this while we were on live stream. This is a really nice little find. This is a Nike Borussia Dortmund jersey from like the 96-97 season. Again, it had some real condition issues. Namely, it had been torn and poorly stitched back together at the back here, which really is something which is a shame. Otherwise, we could have probably gotten a much better price. But George very generously offered us £20 for this, which we took. But if it had been in like great condition, it would have been worth a fair bit more. But still, we're really happy with that because we only paid £1.50 for it. Moving on, another item which unfortunately we didn't get as much money as we could have done had the condition of the item been better, but it was still worth buying. This is a Ralph Lauren Polo Sport hand sewn size 5 football. I paid, I think it was 50p or £1 maximum for this, and as you can see, it's in very, very used condition. Scuffs all over it, marks, dirt. Normally, you would have expected someone that would have gotten a football like this to have just kept it in good condition, and others which are in good condition have fetched about £40. But because this was in such rough condition, I took a chance at pricing it at 30 with best offer. In the end, we took an offer of, I think it was £12 or £15. I can't remember. I'm looking over to Beck to see whether she can remind me. 12 or 15? 12. We're going to go with 12 just to be safe. £12 plus shipping, but from £1, not bad still. But it could have been a fair bit more, and it's still worth looking out for if you see something like this, a designer football, especially if it's not used. You probably will get some good money for it. So if you check those out, they've actually done pretty well. Moving on to the next item, pair of Dr. Martens. We paid £5 for these at a charity shop, and these sold for 70. We took an offer. Doc Martens, especially those that are made in England and in good condition like this, are always worth picking up. So you can see our photos pretty decent. Nothing amazing, but they do the job just fine. And we took a photo of the soles of the shoes as well to show that there's plenty of wear on the tread. And we accepted an offer of 70. Those were up for 80 plus £7.99 shipping. We took 70 plus £7.99 shipping. So that was fantastic. Another item which is pretty cool, worth looking out for, it's the Simpsons Hit and Run PC game, but it's like a 3-disc version. This actually went to like Norway or something. And this sold for asking of £20 plus shipping. So worth keeping an eye out on that. Um, Moving on, another really good brand to look out for. We all know it, Levi's, but in particular, if you see it, these commuter jeans or commuter chinos, as they're called, well worth looking out for. We actually picked up two of these. The other one I'll show you later on. This is the green pair. Um, Really nice chinos, and they're designed with like cyclists in mind. And they've got this kind of reflective sleeve or mark, which reflective strip, which runs along the selvage, I suppose, as it would be normally known. So you turn the cuffs of the trousers inside out, and it's got this reflective strip there. Now we did take an offer because we were only in these for £1.50 again. We took an offer of £25, I believe, on these plus shipping, and they sold pretty quickly. Another really good brand to look out for is Mizuno. These are running shoes, so people obviously look out for trainers, you know, your Nikes, your Adidas, etc. But brands like Mizuno, Asics, and there's quite a few others who make specialist running shoes can be worth looking out for. The only problem is with running shoes, especially if you're buying them used, if they've been used to run in a lot, they're obviously going to have not much tread, and it will affect what you can get. Now, I bought these for £2. These ladies Mizuno Wave Inspire 12 shoes. They were EU size 42, UK size 8. And they did have a little bit of marking to them, a little bit of wear to them, but crucially, it was nothing major, but crucially, there was plenty of tread left on the soles. Not an amazing amount, but there was no like worn out areas. You should always look for around the heel or the ball, to see if there's any worn out areas, and there weren't. So they weren't. They did have the odd scuff, etc. But it was still worth picking up for £2. I priced them at 35. And I think I got an offer of 25 on these, and I took that. So I was very happy to turn 2 into 25 there. Moving on, Kenwood Mixer. I believe I paid, I think it was £3 or £4 for this mixer. And it's a Chef XL, made in Britain, decent item. And I sold it. I took an offer of 35 plus shipping. It was up at 60, but it's a big bulky item. And when I got an offer of that, considering how much we'd paid, we were happy to let it go. This one we actually got an offer of £50 for. This is a more desirable model. This is the Kenwood Chef A901. And I paid £10 for this. But the reason why I was happy to pay £10 as well was because it came with a steel mixing bowl. And the steel mixing bowls are worth about £20 on their own, and we've got that listed separately. We've sold one at 20 in the past few weeks, so we're going to sell that one. So I took the steel mixing bowl. I had one of these lying around, these plastic ones, and sold it, and we got an offer of £50 plus shipping, so we were happy to sell that. Moving on, this is a Vibe OptiSound TV5 active subwoofer. Paid £5 for this. So basically, this is there to enhance audio from your TV. So £5 into 25 plus shipping. And Beck's being silly, doing like a silly dance in the back to try to throw me off, but it's not going to work. Moving on. This is a pure DAB radio. Now, I paid £5 for this item a while back, and I sent it to Amazon thinking I'd be able to get £60–70 because I had achieved that at Amazon before, but it was up there for an awful long time, and I just got annoyed having it sat up there. I know I shouldn't, because it's up there and not not with me physically, but there we go. I got it called back, stuck it on for £30 and plus shipping, and that's sold, so pretty pleased. Here is the second set of Levi's chinos, the commuter jeans. These are like the sand version, I guess. So again, there's the photos, nothing spectacular. They're very simple jeans, chinos. I did take a photo of like a little mark there. And again, they've got the reflective reflective strip running along like the selvage on the cuffs when you turn them around. Again, they were up at 40 with shipping. We got an offer of 28 on these, which we happily accepted. Next up is some cartridges. I don't often buy cartridges, but these were available. I think they were like 50 pence each. I bought the lot. bundled them up because they weren't really worth selling separately, and sold them for 30 plus shipping to somewhere in Europe. So cartridges worth picking up. Another Pure radio. This one I took an offer on. This is the Pur One Elite. Bear in mind when buying these radios, Pure Ones and other models as well, some of them have this weird kind of rubberized casing, and over time and age, when you find them, they're going to feel sticky. And it's not because they've been covered in syrup or anything. It's just the texture of the casing is of that nature. Like the rubber becomes sticky as it wears. And I think it's worth pointing that out to your potential buyer. But anyway, we had this up at $39.99 plus shipping, and I believe we got an offer again of 25 or 30, and I took it. I can't exactly remember what it was, but it was a decent enough offer for me to accept, and I think I'm only in this radio for a fiver, so pretty pleased with that. Moving on, this is a nice item. Again, it's something we'd sent up to Amazon, got it recalled. This is a Sony DVD recorder. We had it up at a higher price, but we just wanted to move it in the end. I think I only paid £6 for this from a car boot. It's a handy little device. It allows you to connect any DV camcorder or an old school Video 8 camcorder or a VCR using composite video. You connect it up, and this little device will burn whatever's coming into it onto DVD. So it's got like a slot loading DVD drive there that you can see in that photo. And we sold that for 120 plus shipping, and that was like a £6 buy. So that was quite a nice item, nice bit of electronics. Moving on, this is something that sold very, very quickly. I only listed this today, and it sold within like an hour of going live. I've listed a bunch of these. These are service manuals for old Sony machines. This is a service manual for a Sony Betamax. Yeah, really old school. They've got like schematics in them. I've got a bunch of these to list. You can see it's from 1985, printed in Japan. It sold for 20 plus $3.99 shipping. We've got a ton more of these to sell, so hopefully the others will sell as well, but that sold pretty quick. This is quite a nice little sale as well. This is a set of Corsair Vengeance RAM. We bought a PC for the office that we've just moved into, and it came with 8 gigs of RAM. And it was mismatched. What that means is the RAM that was installed was not the same as this RAM. They just mismatched 2 sets of RAM, and we don't need to have 8 gigs of RAM with the computer we've got for what we're doing. We're just using it to list on eBay. So we're doing quite fine with 4 gigs at the moment. And if I did want to get more RAM, I'd want it to all be the same. It just works better that way. But anyway, we paid £100 for this complete PC setup, which includes a massive monitor, which we're selling for like 100 on its own. We're using the PC, and we've sold the RAM for we accepted offer of £25 for it. So pretty pleased with that. So really good profit as well in that. So nice little sale. Another pair of jeans. This time it's a pair of Dolce Gabbana jeans. They're patchwork jeans in good condition overall, apart from the cuffs being really worn, so where they've been caught under someone's shoes, where they're a bit too long for them. But I did really take care before listing this item to ensure that I was satisfied that it was a genuine pair of D&G jeans, because whenever you're listing any designer brands, it pays to be sure. So I took really good photos of the stitching. I looked at the stitching very carefully. Even the rivets on the buttons have got D&G on them. The distressing on it and everything looks even. So yeah, I was really pleased with what. So I compared it to some others as well. And it was up at £30. This pair of jeans. We actually accepted an offer of 17 plus shipping. We were only in them for £1.50, and we're happy to see them move within like 48 odd hours of listing. So pretty pleased there. Last couple of items. This is a nice little sale. This is a Next scarf. Becca's got a ton of scarves that she's listed on the general store, which owe us nothing at all. And bear in mind, guys, this is just Next. This is nothing fancy. I'm not even sure if it's silk, because she hasn't actually put silk in the title, so I'm guessing that it's not silk. But the Next blue ditzy scarf accepted an offer, I think, for £7. And it does have shipping of $3.49 on there as well. So really pleased with that sale. And finally, a Bosch garden trimmer. I actually got a bunch of Bosch stuff from a contact of mine, and a trimmer, a hedge trimmer, and all that kind of stuff. It it wasn't used. This was from a closing down B&Q. So it was like an ex-display item. You got the tags there, but there was no battery. And I accepted an offer on this. It was up at 60, 30 plus shipping just to get it out of the way because it was a big bulky item. And that is it. So I hope you guys found that useful. That was 20 items we have sold this month in April. So in the 11 days of April so far, these are some of the items that we've sold, 20 of the items that we've sold. And we hope you found the video useful. Hope you can find some of these items or similar items out there when you're outsourcing, because they are there. We've only just started really going back out there and looking for this stuff to grow the general store, because obviously we rely heavily on our RC store, and we want to build a second store up to kind of help it out, because there are times where the RC store has dips through the year, and this is really working out well for us. Anyway, guys, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.